Hey, today we are going to replace these wire shelves that everyone has and no one likes with actual wooden shelves. It's a real simple project, and I'm here at my daughter's new house with my granddaughter, and she's going to hold the mic. She's our sound person, huh? Yeah, Pop. And we're going to get this done. This is also a great little side business, doing custom shelving, because remember, shelving on Etsy is one of the best selling categories there is. And offering custom shelving could be a great woodworking side hustle that I actually covered in another video. But we're going to actually make the shelves today, and let's get into it. All right, next up we're going to cut the actual shelves, and I'm using the project panel that I like using from Lowe's. At Home Depot they have the same type, but it doesn't come all wrapped up like this. This one is 36 by 16, so it's perfect because I'm cutting the shelves to 35 by 3/8. Lastly, we're going to cut these at 13 inches wide, and then I'm going to cut about a 2 1/4 lip piece that'll be kind of a face front to cover up the supports and the front of the shelf. All right, first up, I'm going to cut the supports. I'm using the primed pine again because I'm doing the supports in white, and then the actual shelf will be stained so it has that kind of farmhouse look. So we're going to cut this on the miter saw. Obviously, your cuts will depend on how large your shelves are going to be. My ends are going to be 13, and then the long piece in the back is going to be about 35. So the long piece in the back, I'll cut to about a length, and then when I'm on the job site, I'll just cut that down accordingly. So I'm going to make it a little bigger than necessary so I can get the exact measurement when I'm there. All right, everything is stained up and the supports are painted, so we are ready to go and install these shelves. Now these shelves are going to be used for holding towels, so we're not worried about a lot of weight. I'm going to look for where the studs are at. I'm using a 15 gauge finish nailer with 2 1/4 inch nails, so enough to punch through this, the drywall, and get a good seat into the studs. All right, so you're asking, why didn't I cover those holes up? The shelf will cover those holes up, but I wanted to make sure these were equally spaced. Either I set this one off wrong or they weren't equally spaced to begin with, but either way, those holes will be covered up by the shelf. So next we will do the side pieces, the side supports. Next up, I'm gonna cover these holes. I'm gonna put some of these gaps are big. I'm gonna put some caulk right in there. This is not a necessary step, but it is gonna make it look nicer. And this is a paintable caulk. I did bring the touch-up paint to touch these up if I wanted to, if this wasn't blending in very well. Maria, she was upset. She wanted to help Pops put these shelves in, huh? Yeah, Pops, I'm supposed to be helping you. I'm your little apprentice. Okay, can you sit right there and watch me? And here, just don't use the finish nailer. Oh, made that one a little tight. Oh, made that one a little tight. All right. This is a very interesting thing about how houses are built, okay? Almost none of your walls will be square. You look at this and you're gonna think this is all gonna be great 90-degree angles, right? It's not. And the reason for that is the framers come in and they frame out your house. And they're using framing nails. But not all the nails go in all the way. And they don't come back and hammer in their nails. That almost never happens. So then the drywall guys come. And it is not their job to nail in framing nails that are still sticking out, right? They're not gonna do that. So they're just gonna put up the drywall and they're gonna screw in the drywall. And if there's a nail out here, right here, it's gonna push the drywall out a degree or two. So you will never actually have, or it'll be extremely rare, that you have an actual 90 degrees. So if I measure this, you know, this may be whatever, and it may actually be more narrow in the back, or it may be wider in the back, more narrow in the front. So that's fine. I expected that and anticipated it. So I'm gonna just cut these down a little bit and then we'll get them put in. So per what I'm talking about here, I just cut this straight. I cut about 1/8 of an inch off, snug in the back. Now look right here, about 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little bit more. But I intended to cut them a little bit short, if you can see that. So anyhow, that's just how some houses are made, and you got to deal with it. That's why the phrase, caulk and paint make a carpenter what he ain't. So we will caulk all that and it'll look fine. So I made an angled cut this time for this next one, since that other one was so bad, and turned out a lot better. So as you can see, turned out a lot better than that big mistake right there. All right, lastly, the face frame. Now some people, when they make these, they leave this as it is, like that. Of course, this front will be stained, but I'm gonna add these face frames to them. And it's great. Obviously, cover up those gaps. It covers up this. That's the length that I made it, or the width that I made it. And I got a brad nailer, 18 gauge brad nailer for this. Just gonna pop a couple nails in. So hindsight, if I would have known about this problem, obviously I would have wanted this on the top to cover up this gap. But I am gonna caulk all around here, cover that up, little extra caulk right here, and in the back and the sides. I did bring extra stain just to touch up these areas right here that got where I had to sand, or rather where I had to cut again. All right, and there you have it. Admittedly, I've always had some trouble with my caulk game. Sometimes I'm on, sometimes I'm off. But I was about half and half. One shelf really good, the other is so-so. Let's get a closer look. So there's that really big gap I had to fill in. But as a whole, not too shabby. And that is it. Now, some of these steps, like putting on this face frame, it just makes it look a lot nicer. But like I said, I've seen a lot of people, especially if they do them in closets, they don't even bother with the face frame. A lot of people don't bother with the caulking too. Obviously, two of these I didn't have to really mess with, but one of them, because of that big gap, I had to do something. I was planning on caulking anyways, because I think it just makes it look nicer to cover in those gaps. But if you get your cuts better, you don't have to do that necessarily. Now, doing this as a side hustle, like I said, custom shelving, you can't, like with the issue that I had, if you buy this off of Etsy and try to install it yourself, it's a huge pain, and most people don't want to do that. So if you get good practicing at doing shelves, like in your own house or your mom's house or dad's house or sister's house or daughter's house, you can offer this as a side business, custom shelving, coming in people's closets. And then if you wanted to step your game up and really make some money, you could do closet remodels. I think I'll probably do a video on that because I think my daughter wants her closet done. So we'll do that together and see how that turns out. But you could offer all this as kind of just a woodworking handyman craftsman type business and probably make some really good side money, or if you want, took that business full time. Now, I would recommend, if you're going to people's houses, getting a business license. Here in Florida, it's pretty easy, sunbiz.org, and then you need to get your appropriate stuff from the county. But stuff like this would fall under a handyman type license. In my county, we actually don't have a handyman license. It's just a business license. There is, however, a long list of things that you're not allowed to do. Like, I can't do anything electrical. I can't even change out a sprinkler, which is really weird, right? Can't do any type of plumbing, nothing structural. But stuff like this, non-structural, aesthetic organization stuff, you can do that. And of course, I would get business insurance. Mine's $600 for the year, so that's nothing, right? I mean, in the grand scheme of things, if you're going to people's houses doing 1-2 of these a week, you know, that's no problem at all. So anyhow, get out there and build something. Put some of these shelves in your house. And thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you on the next one.